Wait,
I didn't say they were. I said taking a look.
You just said they were. You can't come here and say and imply they're price fixing and then say they're price fixing. That's a serious allegation. You can be sued for defamation.
I said we should take a close look
Now,
at the
let me
companies
go back.
here.
I want to be sure I understand your testimony. Are you telling me right here today that you're accusing Walmart? Thank you, Madam Chair. Interesting questions. Mr. Maxwell, you're a farmer, is that right?
Yes, Senator.
Excuse me. You used to be a farmer, or you still are?
Yes, Senator. I grew up on a farm. I'm a fourth-generation Missouri farmer. My brother does most of the farming. I do this activity more. I do have degrees in ag economics and a law degree, but I still actively farm. I've got over 100 ewes on the farm. We have hogs production. We're kind of the diversified, traditional family farm type operation. Lease out some of the land to the neighbor boy.
Yeah, well, America was born on a farm, so thank you for that.
And thank you, Senator.
Dr. Owens, you talked about in order to commit a crime, you have to have means, motive, and opportunity. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And you have suggested that it's not an optimal situation to have, well, strike that. Let me just get after it here. What crime are you accusing the four major food companies of?
Price gouging, sir.
Okay. You think they're price fixing?
In some cases, absolutely.
Okay. Name the four companies that you are accusing of price fixing.
In the grocery sector or more broadly?
The four you've been talking about.
I mean, so I think...
Name me every company that you think is price fixing in violation of the antitrust laws.
Yeah, I mean, so the most recent example that I think is worth considering is AgriStats.
Yes, ma'am, but if you don't mind, we'll come back and do the examples. Name me the companies that you're accusing of price fixing.
Well, the first one is AgriStats, which the Department of Justice has sued for price fixing.
Who else?
In the grocery sector, we've got Walmart, we've got Kroger.
Walmart is price fixing.
No, I haven't accused them of price fixing. What I've said is that they're able to expand their markup.
Let me start over here. I want you price fixing is a serious crime, Doc. You can go to jail for that. And I want to be sure I understand your testimony. Who are you accusing of price fixing?
Yeah, look, what my testimony clearly states is that...
Tell me which companies you're accusing of price fixing. You said some were price fixing, and I want to know which ones.
Yeah, I mean, look...
I may report them myself.
The company that's absolutely under investigation by the DOJ...
Which ones are price fixing?
I think the Federal Trade Commission and the Department of Justice should take a close look at the four major grocers. They should take a close look at the four major meat packers. There are currently... There's pending litigation.
Which companies are price fixing?
Tyson is a great example. Tyson, the large meat packer.
Okay, who else?
The big four meat packers are all currently
That's one. Who else?
Like I said, I think looking at the four major grocers makes sense.
Which four are price fixing?
Walmart, Albertsons,
Walmart's price
Kroger.
Wait,
I didn't say they were. I said taking a look.
You just said they were. You can't come here and say and imply they're price fixing and then say they're price fixing. That's a serious allegation. You can be sued for defamation.
I said we should take a close look
now,
at the companies.
Let me go back. I want to be sure I understand your testimony. Are you telling me right here today that you're accusing Walmart of price fixing?
I'm not personally accusing Walmart of price fixing. I am suggesting
Who are you accusing of price fixing? That's a serious charge.
Neither my written testimony nor my oral testimony makes explicit legal claims.
So you're not accusing anybody of price fixing?
No, I have pointed out that the Department of Justice is currently looking at price fixing by AgriStats. Who are you accusing of price fixing?
Why won't you answer my question? Who are you accusing of price fixing?
I'm pretty sure I have answered your question.
No, you haven't. Just tell me the names of the companies, one by one. What's the first company that you're accusing of price fixing?
I've mentioned AgriStats is currently...
What?
AgriStats.
All right, who's number two?
I said Tyson's is currently under investigation for price fixing.
Yeah. Who's number three?
I've also said that I think the Department of Justice and the FTC should take a close look at
number three?
Major grocery
Who's number
retailers.
Three? Is Walmart price fixing?
I think that they should take a look at...
Is Walmart price fixing?
They should take a look at it.
Is Walmart price fixing?
I can't currently answer that question. I said that the
You
Department
won't
of
answer
Justice...
that question.
No,
How about Albertsons? Is Albertsons price fixing?
The Department of Justice and the Federal Trade Commission...
Is Albertsons price fixing?
...should take a close look at that.
Is Albertsons price fixing?
Again, I think the Department of Justice should take a close look.
You don't want to say?
No, I mean, look, I'm not at the FTC. I'm not at the DOJ.
Yes, ma'am, but you've accused these companies of breaking the law, and I think that you ought to have the courage to say in front of God and country what you believe. Now, you either do or you don't.
Look, I believe that when companies get larger and larger,
I understand what you believe, but I understand
easier and easier.
You're waffling like
to coordinate
a catfish. Okay,
it's easy to coordinate price hikes
Dr.
when
Antoni,
you're large and there are
Dr. Antoni,
companies.
I think it's been well established that if we discovered life on Mars tomorrow, Joe Biden would send it money. To what extent has his deficit spending contributed to inflation? And do you know of any of these companies? Would you care to accuse someone of a crime here today? And if anybody else would, just let me know. If somebody is price fixing, I want to know. I'll report them myself. And I'm going to want to see your evidence. Otherwise, you subject yourself to defamation. But let me go back to my original question. What was it, Mars? Was it Mars or Jupiter? I forgot. Is the amount of money that President Biden has insisted on spending contributed to inflation? Duh. What's your answer to that?
Well, Senator, regarding the price fixing, I have no evidence because there is no evidence of that, so I can't provide that to you. But to answer the hypothetical on Mars, absolutely that would add to inflation. And yes, the deficit spending under this president, but really under any president, it doesn't matter that it's Joe Biden in particular in the White House doing it. Any person who did, if any person did what he did, it would have the exact same effect, which is this massive run up in prices. Because again, it's not that things are more valuable, it's that the dollar is worth less. So it takes more dollars to buy exactly what you used to. And if you look at, again, the Biden administration's own data, these aren't my figures, these are figures from the Biden administration. They show that prices paid by businesses and prices paid by consumers have gone up almost exactly the same, about 19% during his tenure. And so this idea that somehow the prices that consumers, that that all of the people that you represent are paying are somehow the cause of anything other than costs simply being passed on to them, the data simply don't support that.
Okay. How about you, Doc?
Excuse me. No evidence. No, I'm not accusing anyone of price fixing.
Are you a lawyer by chance?
I'm sorry?
Are you a lawyer by chance?
Oh, no, I'm not. Just an economist.
Okay. What happens if you accuse somebody of price fixing and they didn't do it?
I probably don't want to be that person.
You got good insurance?
Yeah. No, I'm not. Not doing that.
Okay. Go ahead.
As far as the fiscal stimulus stuff, that's a standard economic model, and you can go back and look. Multiple people, Olivier Blanchard is one. Some of the upper bound estimates on how big the shortfall in demand was after COVID and the shutdowns. So like one of the largest upper bound estimates that I've seen is about $680 billion. Just the COVID package of 1.9 trillion. That's already almost 3 times the size of that. So that's.
You want to go now?
Sure.
All right.
Let the record reflect that the senator from Louisiana is far more loquacious than the Baptist preacher.
And that's a high standard.
That's
Senator
my friend.
Warnock.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair.
And so that is where this hearing ends. Right at the moment Senator John Kennedy corners a witness and demands not nuance, not market structure analysis, not evidentiary thresholds, but names. Names of companies he claims are committing literal price fixing, a federal crime, a felony, and the witness cannot or will not give them. Kennedy keeps drilling harder, faster, more blunt, dragging the oxygen out of the room, insisting over and over again. Name them, say them, one by one, on the record. And the witness keeps trying to carve out subtlety, caution, context. And Kennedy refuses to let the hearing escape the binary. If you say companies are price fixing, then say who. If you won't name them, you are just performance and insinuation. Kennedy weaponizes the moral weight of criminal accusation and collapses the entire debate down to immediate certainty or immediate cowardice. And that exact moment, right at the end, when Kennedy finally says, "You're waffling like a catfish," is the full, pure distillation of the modern American dysfunction. Because underneath this exchange is a horrifying truth. Congress itself has allowed the American household grocery market to become so concentrated, so cartel-like, so structurally monopolized, that even the experts are afraid to say the names out loud. The power is so consolidated, so legally fortified, so capable of unleashing litigation thermonuclear response, that witnesses literally cannot speak freely. The sheer size of these four meatpackers, these four grocery giants, these vertically integrated supply chains that reach from farmland to slaughterhouse to shipping to shelf to checkout scanner. This is what monopoly power looks like in America now. Everyone knows it exists. Everyone sees the result of it every single week at checkout. Everyone sees the broken supply chain leverage that allows a handful of corporations to dictate national food price direction. And yet, at the federal hearing table, almost nobody is willing to say the names with full declarative force. This is what late-stage concentrated capitalism does. It makes truth radioactive. And Kennedy, whether you agree with his tactics or not, exposes that structural fear in real time. And because he exposes that fear publicly, it reveals a deeper systemic moral indictment. We are living inside an economy where the basic necessities of life, the literal food supply, is shaped not through fair competition, but through oligopoly steering. And every time inflation spikes, every time grocery receipts jump, every time families wonder why they can buy less food with the same paycheck than they could just 5 years ago, Congress blames presidents and spending cycles and macro narratives, and almost never the companies who have unprecedented pricing power. This hearing is a mirror for the American people to see exactly how much power corporate structures hold over public discourse, because if naming the actors is too dangerous, then the actors already own the game. That is why this moment matters. Because this clip is not about Kennedy being loud. It is not about the witness being evasive. It is not about partisan theatrics. It is about the extraordinary fact that the American Senate is sitting inside a food market system so concentrated that the only safe rhetorical position is to call for more study rather than truth. This is where democracy quietly erodes. Not in riots, not in coups, but in hearings where nobody can speak directly about the most structurally powerful corporations for fear of legal retaliation, where experts are forced to dance around the thing rather than pierce it, where public oversight becomes suggestion, not enforcement, where industry fear shapes the boundaries of speech. That is monopoly power. That is capture. That is how the public loses ownership over its own economy. And the people who feel that pain are not the lobbyists. They are not the executives. They are not the shareholders in the boardroom. They are the Americans who go to the grocery store and watch the numbers rise so fast that the cashier apologizes even though it's not her fault. They are the Americans who cut meals, cut portions, cut protein, cut quality, because the system quietly allows a handful of corporations to price the entire country upward without consequence. This hearing tells us something democracy cannot afford to ignore. Transparency without courage is theater. Oversight without naming the actors is performance. And journalism, commentary, civic narration must call things by their name even when witnesses in the room cannot. If America cannot confront monopoly power, then America will be ruled by it. If hearings cannot name the system, then hearings are just procedural ritual. And if this government cannot protect the public from price coercion, then the public will stop believing this government exists for them at all. This is why Liberal Line tells the story behind the moment. Because the country needs narrators who refuse to let these hearings be swallowed by the clip economy without context. Because the only way out of this captured economic era is by building public literacy in what actually drives the cost of living crisis. Because the only people who will fight for democracy against corporate power are the people who still believe democracy can win. So if you want more of the truth, they hope stays foggy. If you want more of the analysis, they hope stays quiet. If you want to understand the real power dynamics shaping the price of every item inside your shopping cart, subscribe to Liberal Line.